Hey, it's Russell Pearson and welcome for another Rusty production. I've been playing around and I thought I should probably share some of it with you as well. This has been my fire poker, just a piece of angle, which I beat the top in of. This is what I did the first day I actually got the forge working, got a bit of heat on some metal. This is what I've been using and it's actually been pretty useful. But today I decided to actually take a new step and get a new fire poker. So what I've been doing is designing something a little bit more sophisticated. And not only have I've made it ready for my hand, like so. Give it a little bit of decoration. I've got to work out whether that's actually going to jam into my hand or not. I think I might actually just finish that a little higher than where it is now. It's not finished. The idea is that this will scrape the coke and the charcoal back to where I want it to be on the fire. But one of the things I was going to do is I'm going to twist the metal. And you didn't see this on an earlier video, hopefully not anyway. But I did try twisting a little bit of round stock earlier, and if anybody has ever done that before, you would understand that round stock is round and therefore doesn't twist the necessary way.
It turned in about 90 degrees, but you cannot tell.
Square stock will twist and actually give you that nice decorative twist effect. So what I've done, I don't know if you can see that, but I've squared off this area through the center here, and I'm going to go and twist it when I get the forge back running again tomorrow. So before I do that though, we need a tool. We're going to make a tool to help us twist that metal. Let me get the pieces for that tool. We have in our possession a nice old wrench. It's a wrench without teeth, which means it's not going to damage anything that we put in between it. The idea is that you put this wrench onto the piece of metal and are able to twist it around while it's hot and actually create that twist effect. But twisting it one way only actually can sometimes bend the metal. That's what I've been seeing online. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this piece, which I've already flattened down, and is just a cheap piece of hollow aluminium there. And what we're going to do is we're going to weld it onto the front of here and therefore create a two-handle twisting mechanism. I'm not sure what you would call that tool, but I'm calling it a two-handed twisting mechanism. Let's get welding. So one of the other cool things that's happened today is there's my forge, there's my anvil, and there is my new steel bench. So I picked this baby up for $20 at a junkyard, which was fantastic. And I'm going to be fitting it out with all sorts of shelving down the bottom here. It's got a nice steel top. We're going to be reinforcing it with some steel plate so that we can put the vise and everything on here rather than putting it onto the wooden bench. And this is where I'm going to be doing my welding today. So we're going to just use a couple of these clamps to get it in the right spot so that we can have it nice and secure when I get the weld going. Everything's in place. Helmet ready to go. Let's get started. So we've got a decent weld on there, and by decent I mean horribly bad from a professional point of view, but it's holding is the other word. What's interesting is that this pipe is hollow, and as soon as I finished welding that started gurgling. Let me know in the comments below if I should be worried about that. But I just wanted to use this hollow piece because I'm not going to be using it for anything else other than maybe creating a handle for when I'm doing stuff with the forge. So got to do the other side on the back there, just clean it up a little bit, and we'll be ready to use it to twist our metal. So we're welded on, and normally I'll be using this bad boy to cut the excess that I don't need off this handle. But it is late at night, and as a YouTuber friend of mine, Evil Twin X, has said, do not forget that you have other tools in the shed, and I do have a handy hacksaw. Now I'm horrible with a hacksaw, so you're probably not going to get the full glory of my inability to use a hacksaw here because we're only working on this very small space, but I do tend to go this way, then that way, then this way, then that way, all the way throughout the metal. But I think this will do the job for now, and will keep my neighbours happy. And we are through. Alright, it's the next day. Just got the forge on again. We're heating up that centerpiece that we're going to go and twist in a moment. And one of the things I thought I'd quickly show you is how I'm doing the fire currently, that this seems to be working. So the mistake I'd been making was I was actually building it on the front and the back rather than actually building it on the sides that you can see here. You can see that's getting a lot of heat in the center now, and the way I'm doing it is I'm starting with a very small charcoal fire in the center, and then I'm stacking the coke on the left and right, and then putting a single piece of charcoal on the top there to actually continue to fuel the heat. This system seems to be working really, really well, and you can see right in the center there we're getting some nice heat, and while it might look white on the camera, it's actually like a bright orange. So I could go hotter, but as you can see I haven't built it up very much, so very economical, and seems to be working really, really quickly. Got our wrench, jig, get this onto here nice and tight. See how this thing twists. The trick was to get the right leverage point. I don't have enough square metal, but this point here will do just fine. It is twisting how I want. I might do one more twist, and then I think that'll be it. I'm all the way around. The right spot. I might just try and straighten up with the device itself, so I don't go busting it up with a hammer. Pretty nice. I don't know if you can see that there. There's that twist. Now, it's not as dramatic as some twists that I've seen before, but I really believe that's because the square area that I used was a little rounded rather than actually being a real sharp 90-degree angle. But I'm fairly happy with that as my first try, and that ends up, adding something a little bit decorative to this piece. So the only other thing I'm going to do, I'll just use the wire brush and burnish that off a little bit, and it's looking pretty good, is just here on this curl. It's got a little fat part right here, and with the hammer I've been having trouble trying to get in there to actually smooth that out a little. What I'm going to try and do is use a round piece of stock, put it in there when it's heated up, and hit on the stock, which ideally should round out that corner. Don't know if that's the right way to do it, but I'm going to give that one a go, just so I can clean this up, because that, even though it's not annoying me that much, I'm going to be looking at this handle a lot, so I want to make sure it's right. I can see lack of a horn is going to be a real pain for me long term, so I'm going to have to sort that out. Let's try and do this without actually burning myself. Just about right. Pretty much done what I needed it to do, which is to curl that part out a little bit where it was a fat spot, cool it off, and I'll show you the finished result. Alright, so here we are, there's the final result. It's our poker and fire scraper. It's not designed to go this way, it's designed to flip around and go the other way. It's still hot, so I'm not going to hold it, but basically my fingers go in this part so that this isn't pushing up into my the meat of my hand. A few little techniques there. We've got a few curls, a few twists, and bending on a right angle, which I've actually pushed to further than right angle now, just so that it's got a little bit more than an L shape. Now, will this work as far as like an ongoing tool? Will it work better than this piece of angle? Well, it certainly looks better than this piece of angle, but you never know. This might continue to be a workhorse for me when I'm actually just using the forge, but certainly looks a lot prettier over here. And I mean, the great thing about this is that I can adapt it and add more to it or change around. I was thinking maybe I'll actually put a bend here to actually create a full bracket. It'll be easier to drag coke and the like around. So there's our end result. So this has been a pretty short Rusty production, but if you're enjoying watching the absolute novice, mistake laden episodes of my journey into metalwork, please subscribe. If you liked the video, like it below, and the same with comments, please leave them. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. And until next time, thanks so much for watching.